Premieres our third season and our second decade. It's Meadowlark Lemon, the clown prince of basketball, with his unique brand of courtside comedy.
Alan Winder. Guys on the team call him the blue-eyed soul brother all those years.
We have Alan Winder, a blue-eyed soul brother.
The 337 acres of cool, shimmering water is the largest oasis in southwestern Kansas. Almost hidden from view, the lake stretches for nearly a mile at the bottom of what was once called Fatty Evans Canyon. It was so named for an old moonshiner who allegedly lived there and plied his trade. The so-called bottomless well, which really isn't, is known as St. Jacob's Well, and you can find it just to the south of the Big Basin off US 160, about halfway between Ashland and Mineola. The Big Basin is a large natural depression caused when the ground just up and sunk after the subsurface water dissolved the salt and gypsum beds below the surface. If you visit there early or late in the day and stand on the highest point along the southern edge, you will see Mother Nature's handiwork as the light caresses the rocky rim outlining the 1¼ mile wide basin.
Also underground are hundreds of grassland gas wells that have proved to be a gold mine for Morton County.
We have oil and gas facilities that provide revenue. This parcel of land returns to the Treasury $3 million to $4 million every year. Here's your ruts or your swales that you have from the Santa Fe Trail. They traveled out here not in single file, as John Wayne movies show them, but in 5 or 6 wagons side by side.
I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. There's no place like home.
Surrounding me. It's 108,000 acres called the Cimarron National Grasslands. And the most important historic landmark on those acres is Point of Rocks, right behind me. The Native Americans used it to look out over this vast prairie, to watch out for the buffalo, and to keep an eye out for folks they might have a dispute with, other Native Americans. Looming out of the high plains 5 miles east of US 83 in western Gove County is the Chalk Pyramids, the first geological formation in Kansas to be designated as a National Natural Historic Landmark. Along the northern edge of Cheyenne County, the most northwest...
In 100 years,
years, 6 states had been carved out of the very heart of the Great Plains. Missouri in 1821, Arkansas in 1836, Iowa 1846, Kansas 1861, Nebraska 1867, and finally Oklahoma in 1907.
White Cloud was named in honor of James White Cloud, chief of the Prairie Sioux. It was organized in 1857 by a group of investors which included Dr. Richard Gatling, who later invented the infamous Gatling gun. The eastern corner of our state is a pilgrimage that all Kansans, whether you're native or naturalized, should make. We're going to visit the log cabin built in 1871 by a Kansas pioneer named Dr. Brewster Higley. It's located in Smith County along the meandering banks of Beaver Creek, 9 miles north of the small town of Athol. If you haven't guessed who Dr. Higley was, then listen to the music, and I think the significance of his name will come to mind. Now, that wasn't very hard, was it? On June 30th, 1947, Higley's song was officially adopted by the state legislature as our Kansas state song, Home on the Range. And they come from all over the United States. Let's see who was up here and what they had to say. Part of the ritual of visiting Mount Sunflower, the 28th highest state point in the country, is signing the guest book tucked away in a mailbox on the southeast corner of the summit. This is the land of 1,800 friendly people.